following is a special presentation of Digital Horizons, the leader in sports highlights entertainment.
So everybody on your feet, let's do this right. Everybody on your feet. because Cage Fury begins in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go! Ladies and gentlemen, your opening contest of Cage Fury is a special three-way dance scheduled for one fall. Will the winner will advance to win a takes all. Beat a four-way elimination ladder match to crown a new Super Indy champion. Introducing first, he weighs in at 220 pounds, wrestling out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Here is the frontman, Logan Shulo.
Caged Fury is an operative name for tonight's event here at the Court Time Sports Center in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania. I am Joe Dombrowski, joined at ringside by Justin Plummer. Tonight, Justin, we will determine our fate, the fate of every wrestler in the back and every fan here, because the balance of power in the International Wrestling Cartel shifts permanently one way or the other.
193 and 1/2 pounds, wrestling straight out of the gym. Here is true talent, beautiful Gory, the Shield.
But before that, Justin, we have to crown a new Super Indy champion. Step one starts in just a couple of minutes.
That's right, Joe, and as you alluded to, tonight all the marbles are on the line. But you know you have a stacked card when this, a Super Indy title qualifying match, is your opening bout of the night.
It was an injury to the Super Indy 10 tournament winner, Egotistico Fantastico, a partial tear of his quadriceps muscle during a live event in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That resulted in him spending several months on the shelf. We still don't have a timetable. Ego will be back anywhere, IWC or otherwise. As a result, there was no alternative. He could not fulfill the 90-day championship defense obligation. He had to be stripped of the championship.
Yes, and whether you're a fan of Ego or you're not, you can't deny the fact that what he did that night to get that title was nothing short of amazing, and it's sad to see him have to give it up before even defending.
Introducing the final comeback. He weighs in at 225 pounds, wrestling out of Buffalo, New York. Here is Bubba.
12 athletes will compete to determine the new Super Indy champion. It won't be a tournament per se, but we are going to have 4 three-way matchups. 2 here tonight, 2 to happen in the near future here in IWC. The 4 winners from those events will advance to a ladder match. At the end of the year, winner take all, and we're advancing into this matchup very quickly. All 3 of these men know the stakes. They want to be Super Indy champion. In the ring, it's Logan Shulo, the front man, in the long blue trunks. It's True Talent, beautiful Bobby the Body Shields, and the short black trunks, and these short light blue trunks. Well, that's Pepper Parks making his IWC debut.
That's right, Joe, and I don't know much about this guy, so I'm going to defer to you, but I can tell just by looks this man keeps himself in shape. Looks like he knows what he's doing.
Well, shoulders are down, 2-0. 3 very hungry young athletes that are looking to put their name on the map. Usually you got to win 3 matches in one night to win the vacant Super Indy Championship, to win the Super Indy Tournament. A bit of a different format. Is it easier or is it harder? That's tough to say, but you have a lot of passion and a lot of hunger in this ring right now, knowing the prestige of the Super Indy prize at the end, a title held by men like AJ Styles, Chris Sabin, Colt Cabana, John McChesney, Sterling James Keenan, and a number of others.
That's right, Joe, and you talk about Super Indy 10. Is that typically harder than what these men have to go through? I agree with you. You don't know 3 matches in one night is a tough task, but you throw a ladder into the mix, you throw 3 other opponents into the mix, anything can happen.
Pepper Parks, a 12-year pro from Buffalo, New York, actually a hot yoga instructor in his spare time. And no, hot yoga is an actual activity. That's not a personal interpretation of him. As he locks up with Logan Shulo, center of the ring. Shulo is the front man. Shulo fashions himself as a rock star, is actually an avid member of a band in his downtime. And he uses that... He channels the spirits of his long-deceased heroes like a Jim Morrison or a Jimi Hendrix, and uses that in the ring to help his energy and help his confidence.
Yeah, and apparently it's been working as of late because this man's been on a roll.
Shulo's looking for that breakout match, that breakout win. He's been looking for it for several months. He's been on the cusp of it. He's gotten himself in the best physical shape of his career. He's a very lean 220 or 30 pounds or so, and he's deceptively agile. And I believe he was defeated by Ricky Reyes to keep him from Super Indy 10, but no shame in losing to the Cuban Crippler, Shulo looking to make up for that here tonight. Bobby Shields was qualifying for Super Indy 10. He lost to Pinky Sanchez in a qualifying matchup, and he got taken out due to injury. So that shows you how dangerous this division is. We have a lot of fallen soldiers, so to speak.
That's right, and while both these men came so close, I guess you could call this their chance at redemption. They're one more shot to get their hands on the gold.
And Justin, you don't get many second chances in this industry, especially when it comes to a championship the caliber of the Super Indy title.
That's right, and Bobby Shields certainly doesn't look like he's going to let that second chance slip by right now.
Bobby Shields is the only athlete who's so cocky, he feels he's deserving of 3 different nicknames. True Talent, Beautiful, Bobby, The Body, Shields. He thinks he has a lot of sex appeal, and certainly he has a lot of ability in that ring. A man who recently completed a 4 or 5 week tour of the United Kingdom.
If you had to pick one of those nicknames, Joe, what would you go with? Because they're all so good.
I'd go with arrogant. I'd put in other. Shields in control of Pepper Parks. Parks has more upper body mass, has more muscle. Shields looking to dictate the pace, but a quick reversal by Pepper. Pepper's a man who's competed in WWE rings before. He's toured with 0-1 in Japan. And going to give Bobby Shields a tour of the far ring corner.
Logan Shulo back into the ring. He was slow to get up there on the outside.
That's the danger of a 3-way matchup. You can't turn your back for 1 second. Shulo with a straight boot, and now Shields caught in the tree of woe precariously. And Shulo!
Man!
A lot of guys that big do not have that kind of vertical leap. And that almost did it. Pepper Parks with the save. Again, 1 fall to a finish. Only one of these men will advance to winner takes all in December to compete in a 4-way ladder match for the vacant Super Indy title.
And I don't think Shields was going to kick out of that one. That was brutal. Pepper Parks keeping this one going, barely.
Shulo ducked the head too soon. Shields a veteran of about 10 years as well. Shulo the most inexperienced in this contest, but not going to let that deter him. Backbreaker bends the body of Bobby Shields to a no.
Pepper Parks not there to save him this time, but he didn't need it. He was able to reach down, recognize this as his second chance, take advantage of it, and kick out. Bobby
Shields has competed extensively for Impact Wrestling and Ring of Honor as well, a frequent contributor of the Ring of Honor on HD Net program that is now defunct. And there's an overhead release T-bone suplex by Logan Shulo.
This offense by Shulo is relentless right now.
That's amazing form and even better execution for count 2.
He's not letting up. He's finally taking a break, but that was just absolutely relentless there for a minute. And you see, the minute he stopped, the minute he took a break to complain to the official, he lost it.
Well, you can see that drive, but again, you can't let your temper get the most of you in a matchup like this. And Shields elevated onto Pepper Parks.
5 minutes gone by in this contest, 5 minutes.
Now, if Shulo can get a double countout on Pepper and Shields, he will be victorious.
Why beat just one of these men when you can beat them both?
Easier said than done. I'm not sure if Shulo did that on purpose, but he could reap the benefits.
Sometimes luck's a little bit better than skill.
Well, it takes a lot of skill and a little bit of luck to do that. Springboard punch into the outside from the front man. Sensed his 2 rivals getting to their feet. Knew he had to do something to press the advantage because he was not going to get that 10 count. And I couldn't think of a better way to do it, Shulo using that body mass to his advantage.
It's rare to see a big man fly like that, but when it does, it's a beautiful thing.
And check out these braids. Only rolls 1 man back into the ring and attempts to cover him. He picked Bobby Shields in that exchange, but only got 2. You need to create some separation between yourself and the 3rd man if you want to get a fall. Watch Pepper springboard. Shulo,
wait a minute here.
Shulo caught him, but Shields used his body weight. Bends Pepper's body in half to a no.
And that can be a source of frustration, Joe, because when you typically may have a man beat in a match like this, so many times the match doesn't end because that 3rd participant gets involved.
Shields went for sliced bread. Shulo countered, but Bobby Shields follows through, but right into the waiting arms of Pepper Parks. And Pepper has Shields in a very precarious position.
What are we going to see here?
Head of steam. Oh, that muscle and the knee driven right into Shields' anatomy. Follow through neck breaker. Veteran could do it here, 2 unknown. We talk about it so many times in the past, but imagine if in your debut you can qualify for the Super Indy Championship.
And it's a huge opportunity. Over the years, the Super Indy Championship has risen in the eliteness. It has become one of the most major titles in independent wrestling today.
Pepper Parks is looking at that opportunity, facing him head on, but against two very, very determined young athletes. Superplex coming up. Pepper trying to leverage Shulo over. Nicely done.
Bobby Shields going to take advantage. Oh!
Shields goes 450. 2-0. Almost shades of power and glory into the new millennium. Inadvertently, great teamwork. But now Pepper and Shields in this war of attrition.
And just like that, the teamwork's over.
Cover 2-0. Off of the moss-covered three-handle family credenza.
Beautiful call.
Shades of Perry Saturn. Pepper Parks feeling the adrenaline in this Pittsburgh crowd, looking to motivate himself further. But his momentum ran him right into the sole of the boot of Bobby Shields. And there you go, there's that distance. Can Shields capitalize? No. Bobby Shields forgot about Shulo. Logan elevates Shields. A mid-air adjustment into a sit-out powerbomb. That was beautiful.
What a move. Logan Shulo taking advantage of his second opportunity, and he looked pretty darn good doing it.
An amazing display of power. An amazing show of strength by Logan Shulo. A mid-air, midstream adjustment on the entire weight of Bobby Shields, and the sit-out powerbomb to perfection gets the job done. Logan Shulo will be one of the four in action at Winner Takes All, competing for the vacant Super Indy Championship. Another three-way later on in this DVD to determine the next entrant. This certainly is the breakout win Logan Shulo came to Elizabeth in search for.
Here with IndyWrestling Wrestling, and as you have seen, Cage Fury is underway. Logan Shulo qualifying already for the Super Indy Championship match. But don't forget, tonight, War Game. Everything is on the line. Now you can see behind me, Chuck Roberts is rallying his troops. He's rallying Team IWC. This is going to be the biggest match this year. Let's see if we can get a word with him. Mr. Roberts. Mr. Roberts. Mr. Roberts, can I get a word with you? Chuck, tonight is the biggest night of the year, certainly the biggest night in your tenure as leader and owner of the IWC. Now, the toughest part of your job tonight may be just to rally your troops. How do you feel about it?
I'll be honest with you, Justin, I feel great. Just a few seconds ago, I talked to the rest of the locker room, minus the Bondin fathers, and unfortunately minus co-owner Chest Flexor, but nonetheless, I know that these guys are ready. Are you guys out there ready tonight? Yeah! We're going to do it here tonight. There's no better way to celebrate 10 years of IWC than on October 22nd, me and Flexor running this show with every one of the boys that have busted their butts in the back. And with their help and certainly your help, we can make it happen here tonight. Now, oh my. Justin. Oh my. Oh my. You've got to be kidding. Are you kidding me? Come over here. What are you wearing? Chuck Roberts, I'm wearing my war gear. I'm ready for war. Tonight, Team IWC is gonna bring it. You're wearing all latex. I have my protection. Listen, you got a 16-year veteran, as I told you this past week. You better get your head on straight. I'm a 32-year veteran. I was down in Memphis in 1976. No, you weren't. Yeah, I was. I have it on tape. Beta. You better get your head on straight. Are you ready for this? I'm ready. Are you ready? I think I'm ready. Well, you better go get ready and get out of the latex. What if people have allergies? Fine, I'll take it off.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know quite what to think of that, so why don't we get center back down to ringside. Pedro, take it away.
19...
for one fall. Introducing first, he weighs in at 225 pounds, wrestling out of Thunder Bay, Ontario. He is the Party Peacock, Dalton Castle.
We have a lot to talk about from that prior segment and a lot of other news. But right now, if you haven't met him yet, let us introduce you to Dalton Castle. There ain't nobody like him, I'll tell you that.
They don't call him the Party Peacock for no reason, and you might not take him seriously due to his theme music, due to his look and his demeanor. You may find him a bit annoying, but there's no denying his athletic ability inside that ring.
Certainly Dalton Castle was successful about a month ago at our debut in West Virginia, Mountain State Madness. Amanda calls himself the charismatic milkshake, and Mr. Plummer, I'll leave it up to you to define that.
Well, you take a little bit of peacock, you take a little bit of vodka, I think you toss it in there with some strawberry ice cream, and maybe a few leg drops, and that's what you get. There he is. Close enough, I left my recipe book at home.
Dalton Castle, ladies and gentlemen, set for his Court Time Sports Center debut. I think these fans are about as perplexed as I am.
And now for our feature presentation.
His opponent, he weighs in 215 pounds, wrestling out of 84, Pennsylvania. Here is David DiMera.
David DiMera calls himself the feature presentation. He's an aspiring film star. And he says he wants to use professional wrestling as a bit of a springboard to a Hollywood career as well. Certainly it's worked for a lot of past stars in professional wrestling, but DiMera's got a long way to go. But the fact that he sees bright lights in big cities, so to speak, swimming pools and movie stars, that bodes well for his confidence in the ring. And you're going to need a lot of confidence to compete with the confidence level of Dalton Castle.
The feature presentation in its shades. They're becoming a mainstay here at Court Time here in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania. He's on just about every card, so he's doing something right. This man's climbing the ladder. But the Party Peacock, he started off hot. He's looking to continue.
That's right. Dalton Castle defeated Tyler Stone at that event in West Virginia. And Tyler Stone's about as tough as they come as far as the young lions of the International Wrestling Cartel. And DiMera's right up there as well. And Castle getting a bit friendly with our official.
He's checking those beautiful boots. Bedazzled?
They're very bedazzled. That's a good word for it. They're very pretty.
And immediately he's not making friends here in Elizabeth. Same way he started things off in West Virginia last month.
But you want to talk about friends? What about the friendship or lack thereof between Chuck Roberts and Chest Flexor we saw a moment ago? We thought it was weird enough with Chuck and Bubba at odds. Now, let's set the stage here. Sterling James Keenan bought IWC a couple of months ago, but unfortunately, due to some legal obligations we cannot discuss publicly at all due to fear of lawsuits and injunctions, Sterling had to sell the organization back to Chuck Roberts. Sterling inflated the price tag a little bit upon the sale back, as Sterling might be apt to do. Sterling's always been a bit of a loner. He really hasn't done any favors for anybody. And as a result, Chuck needed somebody with money to help him out to purchase the company back. Chest Flexor, I don't know if you know this, Justin, he's not a billionaire. He does not have $1 billion. So my question is, what in the hell was he doing, and who was he doing it to acquire the money to help purchase this company back?
Well, you're asking me if I know he's a billionaire or not. Did you ask Chuck if he knew? Because maybe he didn't.
Bottom line is, Chest Flexor has money, and he had enough money to co-sign the company back to Chuck Roberts and Chest Flexor. And he's a peacock.
I don't know what I'm more confused about, what just happened backstage or what's going on in this ring right now, but this is certainly starting off to be an interesting night.
Do peacocks make that noise?
You know, I don't know. We can Wikipedia that.
Didn't he try to tell you the other week that a peacock is a direct descendant of a raptor?
And that is why he is the party peacock. See, raptors can't party with their small hands, so Dalton Castle says. Therefore, he's the first descendant of the peacock. I don't know.
And the peacock is, as a result of his relation to the raptor, the most dangerous animal on Earth today.
Well,
That logic is dangerous.
That logic is dangerous, but the imagination certainly isn't. He's got a strong imagination, only matched by his in-ring ability right now.
Good night. To the outside. Castle hits hard.
And Castle's getting up close and personal to look at his new friends here in Elizabeth.
That's right. Later tonight, Chest Flexor's going to have to get serious. I don't trust Chest Flexor. I don't know if Chuck trusts Chest Flexor, but he's competing against Bubba the Bulldog for the man advantage.
Oh.
Beautiful Hurricane Rana. That's agility there. One seamless motion with the takeover. And like you said, the guy, even though he's overbearing and obnoxious, he can wrestle, that's for sure.
I've never seen a combination in one person like I've seen in Dalton Castle.
And I don't think he ever will again. Do you trust Chest Flexor though, Justin?
No, after being back there, Joe, I'm going to be honest with you. I am an employee of this company.
Quick cover in the ring here, 2-0.
Oh, I'm an employee of this company, and I love working here. I am in fear of my job tonight because it's obvious that Chuck and Chest Flexor are not on the same page.
Chest Flexor's not even reading the same book.
Well, that's probably a better way to put it. Nonetheless, it's another scary night in the IWC. Unfortunately, it's something I think we've both been getting used to.
Yeah, and just a couple of months ago, Chest Flexor was a patsy for the Founding Fathers, being sent in to do their dirty work. Last month, he was in charge, and he got thrown out of his own damn building.
That's right. He was caught smoking, and you cannot do that in Newell, West Virginia.
No.
Not in their fire halls, at least. And unfortunately, the IWC has Chest Flexor as their representative for the Advantage in War Games. I'm not sure that's where we really want to be tonight.
He's one of our bosses, and he's wearing latex. He's not wearing latex. He said he was going to take it off.
Well, maybe
I'm lucky I'm out here.
Maybe we should find out if Bubba has the said latex allergy before he takes that off. Maybe that could go into his strategy.
Valid point.
At this point, I hope we have some strategy.
Huge takedown by Castle. Another guy tonight with a lot of upper body mass. Very well put together. Spends a lot of time in the gym. Cover 2-0. When you talk about this guy's credentials, he is a collegiate NCAA amateur wrestling champion. This guy has all the tools. He has a great face, fantastic background. I think that's led into him being maybe a bit too confident in oneself.
If you love him so much, Joe, why don't you take a picture of him?
I'd rather stick back here, thank you.
You gotta reference a Pee Wee Herman quote every once in a while.
There you go.
Beautiful slam, perfect form.
Emphatic slam. He didn't just release DiMera. He planted DiMera, and you can see the... I'm not sure if that was directed at DiMera or one of these ringside fans, but either way, DiMera feels the effects of it.
Such a fun-loving guy, but he's so darn angry.
And he's doing the thing again. A peacock, pterodactyl type, dodo bird type gimmick thing.
Something, and whatever it is, it's working.
Is it?
Well, he just clawed him with his Velociraptor claws.
There you go. A double step over toe hold back rake. And that is a new first in my career.
You're one-upping yourself, and we're only on the second match of the night, Joe.
There you
Unbelievable.
go. Well, give all the credit to Dalton Castle. Again, one of the most unique athletes, really of any genre. And this surfboard type maneuver involves an incredible amount of strength and leverage and peacock skills.
And Dalton Castle's been on top for quite some time now. DiMera's got to do something to swing the momentum. He's going to find himself in trouble.
I would not at all be surprised to see Dalton Castle competing for an IWC championship in the not-too-distant future.
Could you imagine Dalton Castle, the party peacock, with gold around his waist?
It'd be a real party then.
It would match his boots.
DiMera gets ahead of steam to counter. Got caught up in a backbreaker. Castle, there's so much strength. I don't know what that was.
He's still focusing on the back.
Smart strategy. I believe he's, again, biting DiMera as well.
Whatever it takes.
The peacock's bite? The peacock's bite?
Velociraptors certainly do, and maybe he's getting confused with what he's supposed to be tonight.
Got an identity crisis. Got a variation of a top wrist lock now. Now gets himself some better leverage. Very crudely applied there for a moment, but now you see trying to dislocate the shoulder, stretching back the arm in the opposite direction it's meant to go.
Joe, check out some of these submission holds we're seeing from Dalton Castle here tonight. Very impressive.
Well, you're not going to find that in amateur wrestling, but again, collegiately trained, he can go on the mat. DiMera, what a rough road DiMera's had over the past year.
Oh, most certainly.
He's been a victim of the Founding Fathers on more occasions than we can count. Couple of ducks, cross body. But DiMera, the impact took the wind out of himself.
Both men stunned right now, Joe.
I'm not sure why the referee's counting. Castle was to his feet.
It was a standing 10 count.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Do we have that in professional wrestling?
Nothing stranger than anything that's come out of Castle's mouth thus far. Sidestep in the corner. STO back heel tip takedown. Could do it here, 2-0. Got to be pulling for DiMera just because of the abuse we've seen him take over the past several months. You want to see him pull out a big win.
Oh, you have to be rooting for him right now, as most of the fans here tonight are. This man's luck has just been so poor lately. He's got to turn it around. You'd have to think. Law of averages, this man's going to turn it around sooner or later.
Could be now, no. Right into the waiting arm.
Wow.
Release belly to belly.
What power. Oh, man.
All impact by Dalton Castle.
Oh, he's flapping his wings, Joe.
Oh, is he now?
Oh!
Huge forearm. Follow through with a knee. And now going high risk as well with the drop kick, follow through, roll up. This could do it. Castle's got it. No.
No.
And you see the fight grow in DiMera over the months as well as he continues to press onward.
The resiliency is definitely one of the qualities we've seen enhanced in him over and over again, month after month.
Absolutely. Notice Castle once again back to that arm and shoulder over top of DiMera.
He spent time on the back. He spent time on the arm and shoulder. He's running out of limbs. He's running out of body areas to focus on here.
Well, it's all in a centralized location. You got to believe it's all because it's got a set goal. Now, off to the side, that is not a tap out by the referee is checking in verbally as well. DiMera trying to get that second burst of adrenaline, trying to get this capacity crowd behind him, almost a six-man, so to speak. When you're down in that ring, this crowd can really get that blood flowing. And a one-man flapjack, that's how Castle won in West Virginia. Into that deadlift German. I think Castle's picked himself up another victory.
Unbelievable power, Joe, and the Party Peacock. The Party Peacock is going to be partying tonight, celebrating his second victory in a row here in IWC.
Not sure how Peacock's party, but I don't think I want to find out.
I don't know if you're going to have a choice.
Look, the guy's still angry about something. What's this guy? This guy bipolar or something?
I don't know if we're ever going to understand him. Hopefully in the coming months, we're probably going to be seeing more of this guy as long as he keeps winning. We're going to find out a lot more about him.
Half Peacock, half Raptor. Oh man, Dalton Castle is 2-0 in IWC wrestling.
He showed us the speed and the agility. He showed us the submission maneuvers, and he showed us some raw power tonight. Pretty unbelievable, pretty impressive, and the charisma. Whether you like him or not, the guy's got it all.
I think he showed us this guy's got some serious problems as well, up between the ears. I'm not sure what this guy's thinking, who he thinks he is, what he thinks he is. He's out there, that's for sure. But he's Dalton Castle, and he's IWC's newest rising star.
It's scheduled for one fall. Introducing team number one. They weigh in at a combined weight of 460 pounds. Wrestling out of the Confederate States of America. Here is Bronco McBride and Segaris. They are the Blue Collar Slaughterhouse.
Tag team action as two more athletes make their court time debuts. Blue Collar Slaughter, the team of Matt Segaris and Bronco McBride, victorious over Sex Appeal / the One Nighters a month ago. Bobby Beverly and Nikki Valentino. very formidable competition to defeat. And these gentlemen are from the Confederate States of America. All of them, I guess. I don't know.
Why pick one?
And they got the flag to prove it. Chris Hamrick, eat your heart out. They will be facing a first-time tag team in IWC, or anywhere for that matter.
Here is Tyler Stone and his tag team partner, straight from the stage, Aiden.
Tyler Stone, a former bare-knuckle fighter, was a member of various local area fight clubs from right here in the Elizabeth, PA area, and has transitioned to a beautiful career in professional wrestling. Almost technically qualified for Super Indy 10.
You talk about fast rising stars, Joe. This is his rookie year. Look at what he's done. It's unbelievable. And I'm proud to say he's from my hometown of Elizabeth, Pennsylvania, as you mentioned. You see this guy on the street, you do not want to mess with him.
Not at all. His partner, Aiden Vale, here this evening. Young kid, still in, I believe, maybe his late teens. Early 20s at most. He's actually a drummer in a band. We have another rock star here in IWC Wrestling.
We might have to get these guys together and put out an IWC soundtrack.
We may have to.
You could be the singer.
Well, let's not go crazy now.
You got that voice, Joe.
He was voted by various underground magazines and publications as the best drummer in the state of Pennsylvania. And after a while, he got a little bit tired of, always being in the background, always being one of those supporting cast players in a band, where everybody else is in the forefront in the spotlight. He wanted to get that fix of fame, that fix of success, and he chose professional wrestling, and certainly very agile young man. We're seeing in just the early going as he starts out, does Aiden Vale with Matt Segaris of Blue Collar Slaughter.
And he picked the right place to go for that superstar, because if you're going to get into wrestling and you can make the cut, you can perform well in the tryouts and become accepted, the IWC is the premier indie federation going right now in Pennsylvania. He picked the right place to be.
Springs him with the arm drag, quick pinning combination for two, and Aiden Vale coming out guns a-blazing, deep arm drag, great rotation. I'll tell you what, a minute in, I'm already impressed by young Aiden Vale.
I agree, Joe.
All four of these men, rookies in professional wrestling. So it's very interesting to see, we talked earlier about hunger and drive. You're going to see it more so now than maybe anywhere else. Guys want to prove themselves just to show they belong here in IWC.
And they're getting the opportunity. When's the last time you watched a match where Tyler Stone was a seasoned vet?
There you go. That's a very good point. Stone, not used to being the most experienced man, but he's in there now with Bronco McBride. McBride, as well as his partner Segaris, a very rough and tumble bully type.
And he's flexing his muscle here.
Yeah. And nice takedown by McBride, a count of one. These aren't gym rats, so to speak. These aren't guys who are about tone and definition and bodybuilding. They're built for power, and they're not built to show it off. They're just built to deliver. These are the kind of guys that are lifting the big hay bales, lifting the big logs, and running miles with it.
And sometimes that type of strength can be much more dangerous than anything you can get inside of a gym.
Yeah, they're for go, not show. Stone exploded in the corner a minute ago with some very quick strikes, follow through into a cover for two. I'd love to see these two mixed up in one of Tyler Stone's underground fight clubs.
Well, who knows what they have in store later tonight. We are in Elizabeth.
We are. Tag into Aiden Vale once again. Certainly, you're not going to find him in any fight clubs. You're going to find him in the club scene, playing in a various variety of underground bands. Bronco, double underhook takeover, nicely done, 2-0. Tell you what, these guys got technique as well.
It's incredible technique for guys that are so young, so new to the ring. To see them perform like this.
Snapmare takeover. Drops the knee.
You're not going to find this.
What, lateral press for 2.
Ooh, very close. You're not going to find technical skill in newcomers like this just anywhere. The IWC South team is out there, and they're looking for the best. Everyone that they bring in here, they consider to have potential to be a future star, to be a future champion, and that's the only way they get into this ring.
Well, if you don't hold your weight, you won't be around for much longer, that's for sure. Tag in again to Segaris, who has
knife-edge chops here.
Aiden Vale, the smallest man in this matchup, isolated in enemy territory. We'll see if the instincts can kick in on these rookies if they attempt to cut the ring off at its hypotenuse, as 'twere. Cover again, and that's a smart maneuver there, because think about how much, and again a cover, how much effort it takes to push this big frame off of your body.
There's a distinct size and girth advantage in there right now.
Certainly. They can just smother you with that power. And again, they don't care how they look. They're not going to win any beauty contests. That's for darn sure.
And how about the frequent tags here? They're not showing that they're a new tag team. They're performing like a veteran tag team.
Well, I think it's more a case of they just each want their own turn to push around the little guy.
That could very well be.
2-0. It's how they survived in school down south. Pushing around kids, taking their lunch money, shoving them in lockers.
Tossing barrels of hay on them.
Exactly.
Tossing them into barrels of hay.
Tag back into Segaris. Crowd behind Aiden here. However, the blue-collar slaughter have taken the wind out of the proverbial sails of this crowd. Nice suplex as well.
And don't forget, we still have 3, not 1, not 2, 3 cage matches coming up here tonight.
Oh, we got the state of the company here at stake. We have War Games style, what many call the old guard versus what many call, well, the present era. And we're going to determine the man advantage. We're also going to settle a 1.5-year long score between Shiima Xion and Super Hentai as well. A lot of bad blood still surrounding that issue, but we don't know what's going to happen. Ultimate control, no loopholes, no gimmicks, no swerves. Whoever wins this cage match determines the control of the company to Chuck Roberts or Bubba the Bulldog 100%. No more power struggle. This could end up very, very good for all of us, or it could be very, very bad.
Get ready to do a lot of butt kissing if it goes the wrong way.
Well, we know Fernsworth will be back when that happens. Aiden Vale with a quick double DDT to attempt to turn the tides. He's got to get to Tyler, so close, inches away. And a cheap shot to Tyler. And check this out. Aiden up the shoulders of Segaris.
Innovation makes the tag.
And Tyler Stone now ready to explode.
Tyler's been on the sideline for far too long. He has a lot of that energy bottled up. He's releasing it as we speak.
Tyler's ready. Right into the boot of McBride. Oh, Bronco got to hang on for dear life here. Belly to belly by Tyler Stone.
He almost put him through the ring.
Almost Steiner-esque in execution. And Aiden Vale gonna show what he's made of. Gonna drum up some offense.
Oh, a headbutt to the ribs.
Yeah, couldn't get the full rotation, but collided with the head. And the follow-through cover, and that was enough. Wasn't 3 or wasn't it? Assert some authority, referee. That's it.
Here are your winners, the team of Tyler Stone and Aiden Vale.
Well, it wasn't pretty, Joe, but a win is a win.
Absolutely is. Aiden Vale and Tyler Stone get the job done. It was a little bit of, well, to coin a phrase from another announcer, bowling shoe ugly, as they may say. But you know what? The bottom line is results. You got 4 guys in the rookie year. I consider that a hell of a performance.
Joe, we knew tonight was going to be full of chaos. That's just a little bit. We have plenty more to come.
I think there's plenty more to come in the careers of these 4 young men as well. I tip my...
Introducing first, he weighs in at 192 pounds. Wrestling out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, here is Justin Idol.
Joe, I think we're just receiving word that Chest Flexor cut the audio on that last promo. He's up to shenanigans again.
Well, we know the Founding Fathers are preparing for war. They're preparing for the opportunity to fulfill a year-plus-long goal in full control of IWC. The pressure, the stress, the magnitude has clearly affected Big League John McChesney. I'll be very interested to see his mindset once he gets out to ringside. But right now I want to question the mindset of Justin Idol, a guy who 2 years ago was in the finals of the Super Indy tournament. A man who was literally less than inches away from winning it all before he fell short. Idol's got another shot with the vacancy of the Super Indy title, but he's got to get through two of the world's best.
Introducing combatant number 2. He weighs in at 185 pounds, wrestling out of Cleveland, Ohio. He is the innovator of aerial insanity and fresh off of WWE's Tough Enough. Here is M-Dog, Matt Cross.
The king of the Cleveland streets, Matt Cross, under his real name of Matt Cappuccioni, was casted as a member of the WWE's Tough Enough reality series on the USA Network, where he was mentored by the likes of Bill DeMott, Booker T, Trish Stratus, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. But just a couple of weeks into the series, Matt was controversially told, "You're too bland. You're not good enough. You don't have what it takes." Matt is a veteran of 10 plus years of professional wrestling and has dazzled fans in 16 different countries, competing in front of as many as 80,000 fans. Matt Cross is on a mission every week of his career to show his trainers they were dead wrong about Matt Cross. Tonight, IWC is part of that mission.
Introducing the final combatant. He weighs in at 210 pounds, wrestling out of Cleveland, Ohio. He is the whole shebang,
Gargano
Gargano.
is a former Super Indy champion. He won the title a few years back in 2008. Had to forfeit it due to a very debilitating back injury that kept him on the shelf for 6 months. Gargano, every time he's been in IWC since, has been a player. He's been a contender. He made it to the finals of Super Indy 9. His schedule has kept him from being here regularly, but what a way to come back. What a better way to come back than to qualify for the Super Indy Championship right here at Cage Fury.
What do we have here? Okay, he is getting rid of the chair.
Gargano, one of the most controversial athletes in professional wrestling today, a man who you love to love and you love to hate, a very immature, childlike attitude, and you can see the appreciation from these fans. Johnny Gargano, sometimes his childlike antics get under your skin, sometimes he kind of endears himself to you. Gargano's been very busy as well, competing for high-profile organizations such as Dragon Gate USA, and also completed his first ever tour of Japan earlier this year in the month of March. Gargano was actually in Japan when the devastating earthquakes hit earlier this year.
And that's scary. I bet you he's feeling great to be back here in the States, great to be back here in IWC.
It's certainly great to be competing for the Super Indy Championship. Gargano and Cross have had a very storied rivalry in Cleveland, in Ohio, and other organizations concerning top championships.
We'll see if that rivalry has an effect on this match and works to Justin Idol's advantage here.
Very well may. There you see Idol try to pick his spot for the first time, but we ended in a stalemate.
And they call it truth. Why not?
Three similar styles, three similar body types. Three of the very same goals. Super Indy greatness. Matt Cross is a former, I believe, two-time IWC Tag Team Champion, along with his longtime friend / enemy Josh Prohibition. But that was many moons ago. Pace quickness between Cross and Gargano. Idol sent to the outside. Again, the winner will advance to a 4-way ladder match at Winner Take All 2011 this December, where they will compete to determine who will capture the Super Indy Championship. Logan Shulo, the first to qualify earlier tonight. This match will determine the second man in.
And you got to think Logan Shulo's in the back, watching this one on the monitor, sizing up all three of these competitors, waiting to see who he's going to be taking on. And
Shulo's had his history with Gargano. They've been around the horn together. Cross and Idol, not so much with the front man. Backslide attempt, Idol counters. Meanwhile, Gargano off to the side, picking his spot, just waiting, seizing the moment. And the moment's come. Kick to the breadbasket. Gargano knows one fall will decide this.
Oh, Joe, did you hear that?
He's working smart and hard. And Gargano walks up the back of Justin Idol. Shades of Matt Cross. Gargano, such a quick striker. The Dragon Gate style is perhaps the most rapid style in professional wrestling today. Gargano has adapted to that, and he brings shades of it back to IWC with him. Gargano actually captured the IWC tag titles on his first night in the organization in May of 2007 when he was teaming for the first time with Michael the Bomber Facade. And Idol, of course, a part of one of the most decorated tag team dynasties in history, sexual harassment, and the last couple of title reigns there did involve Justin Idol as one half of that team.
And it looks like Cross was just waiting to pick his spot. I thought he was down on the outside. It turns out it looks like he was just waiting for the opportunity to get back into this thing.
Well, again, we talk about young veterans here tonight. Idol's been at it about 13 years. Cross almost as long. Gargano's a young veteran. He's only, I believe, huge kick. And follow through with a suicide dive. I believe Gargano's 23. Second suicide dive.
Look at this, landing on his feet both times, impressive.
And he's not done. And I'll follow through with a somersault senton. Gargano's been around professional wrestling his entire life. The first time he was around a wrestling ring, in a wrestling ring, he was 8 years old, if you can believe that. And now some 15 years later, he is still going at it. And better than ever. A man who's captured prestigious singles titles everywhere he has been has Gargano. And many of those wars have been involving Matt Cross. Cross sent back in. Gargano could be wasting time, however. Watch Cross. Gargano ducks the first shot, couldn't duck the second. Matt Cross has an extensive gymnastics background, a former AAU junior gymnastics champion and Olympic alternate when he was young. Matt Cross can do things literally no other professional wrestler can, and that, Justin, is why he is so special. And here's another great example. This is called the flagpole press, and you'll see why in a second.
We have gravity in this building, Joe.
Not
Who turned off the gravity
anymore. Now I defy anyone to tell Matt Cross where in this industry he does and doesn't belong. Matt is special. He is unique. He is one of a kind. I don't care if he's not 6'6". I don't care if he's not 275. I don't care if he can do a 20-minute soliloquy in the ring. That, my friends, is a star.
That's pure athleticism. You're not going to see many people do that, Joe. I'm very impressed. That's my first time seeing that move, and I don't know what to think.
I defy anybody with a big money contract in this business to equal what Matt Cross has done in this match so far. Can't be done. But check this out. And as we were marveling Matt Cross's athleticism, Justin Idol was able to recover. And a bit of an impromptu double team. And there you see, as soon as Idol was the first to go for the cover, Matt had to break it up. One fall to a finish. Matt had to save his own you-know-what in this matchup.
We're seeing in these qualifying triple threat matches, Joe, some double teams, none that last more than 5 seconds. These men aren't willing to work together.
It's the friend, it's the enemy of my enemy is my friend, but there are no long-term friends, that's for sure.
But these guys are afraid of commitment tonight.
And Matt walks at the back of Idol to win. No, well, one of these men is going to walk out with a commitment to December 10th at Winner Take All for the Super Indy title matchup. They're going to have a date with Logan Shulo and 2 others. Matt looking to fly. Watch Gargano springs in with a spear. Gargano picks his spot. Will be enough, 2.5.
It's as close as it gets. Some of the fans were fooled there.
And Idol, much like Shulo earlier, looking for that breakout performance. For about 5 or 6 years, I've called Justin Idol the most underrated athlete in this area. Oh, look at Gargano. Not a tarantula, but instead of neck bites. I believe that's more shades of CM Punk. Springing with a spear again. No. Idol caught Gargano with a swaying neck breaker. That could do it here. Matt's out of the ring, but Gargano kicks out. And now, Idol maybe looking to finish this. Top turnbuckle, Gargano is prone. Cross is still nowhere to be found in my vantage point right now. Gargano counters. Up top. Could this be enough? What? Cross gonna intervene. Little Tower of Doom action. Cross powerbombs Gargano as Gargano suplexes Idol. I'm maneuvering the weight. Took a lot of the M-Dog. Cover 2 and no. Matt now on top of Gargano for another near fall. Matt has been in and out of IWC since 2002. He has never held a singles championship here. Will tonight be M-Dog's night to qualify for the Super Indy 4-Way? And keep in mind, that's not just any 4-Way. It's a ladder match. Matt can feel the opportunity coming. Is it time? Moonsault, nobody home. Cross was able to adjust to land on his feet. But Gargano still a step ahead. Gargano looking at a lawn dart. Matt Cross right into the turnbuckle.
That's got to be it.
Oh! Follow through thrust kick. Gargano's got this. Gargano advances. No. Half a count away or less. It's hard to tell, Justin. It's hard to say any of these men don't deserve that spot. It's tough to pull for anybody.
I'm watching these guys kick out of moves that I can't imagine ever getting up, let alone kicking out of a cover following.
Gargano going for Uniquely You. That finishing full Nelson facebuster. Idol counters with a go behind. Idol maybe trying to set up Gargano for the Spirit Crusher here. Gargano counters. Roll up for 2. But Idol not missing a beat, right up to his feet. The back elbow counter. Whammy kablammy! Idol ends up on top, but walks right in to the Matt Cross neck breaker. And a follow through.
10 minutes gone by in this contest, 10 minutes.
Matt has so much he could pull out. He could go shooting star. Is Matt Cross gonna pin Gargano? Shooting star connects. Cover. M-Dog did it.
Here's your winner and moving on to winner takes all. Champion for the Super Indy Championship, M-Dog Cross.
Tough enough trainers be damned. Critics and cynics be damned. You want to tell Matt Cross he's not good enough? I don't think so. Matt Cross overcomes 2 of the world's best to qualify into Super Indy title contention, Justin.
My God, can that guy fly? If he could do that in a match like this, I cannot wait to see what this man does with a ladder.
I would say World Wrestling Entertainment let one of the most unique, diverse, and special stars slip through their fingers. But their loss, it's IWC's gain. Matt will be back here in December. It's going to be winner take all as Matt Cross competes for his first ever IWC Super Indy Championship.
It's War Games, gentlemen. Right here, right now, it's War Games. Where the hell's McChesney?
I don't know. I haven't seen him. He texted me a couple minutes ago. He's on his way.
I'm here, guys! What's up? It's War Games! War freaking Games! And guess
Jacket.
Look at this jacket.
Look
It's
at that.
outstanding, isn't it? It's because it's War Games and the title.
John. Guys,
Wait a minute.
Wait, hold on.
look at this.
Oh.
That's what founding
What is that all about?
This is what I got for all of you guys. Everybody, look what I got. Founding Fathers t-shirt for you. One
Extra
for
small.
you. One for extra small, just
thank
for you.
you.
One for you, Bubba.
Give me my
One for you.
medium.
One for everybody.
This is
Also
fantastic.
available at the merchandise booth.
John, let's get serious.
What?
We're in the middle of a revolution.
We are.
Vegas,
Right.
we're in the middle of a revolution.
You know what?
You got it. Come on, let him have it. Tell him what it's
You
all
know how
about.
much I like to party. You know how much I like to party. You know how much I like to party. But tonight,
Games.
I'm not letting those three bitches stand in the way of us losing the company and me not tonight
Isn't happening.
partying like it's the end of the world.
Yeah! I love it. What are you saying?
Games.
War Games.
War. Game.
Have you been drinking?
War games. War games. Same thing to me, kids. You bastards better come ready to play.
Listen here, guys. This
do you
is
gotta
the
say?
Founding Fathers. This is why we're here. Because this is our company.
Yeah.
We built this. It could have been the foundation of IWC Wrestling.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
It starts
'Cause
with you.
Today, War Games.
Starts
This
with
group
you.
of men, the most elite wrestlers to have ever walked inside a cage.
You know what?
How
I got
many
something to
cages
say.
have you been
I
in?
got something to
How
say.
many
I've been in
cages?
a million cages.
How many
Let's
cages?
put all over them.
How many cages?
One.
How many cages?
Wait a minute, I've only been in
How
one.
many cages? You want cage experience? You want cage experience when CM Punk flew on top of me?
Listen,
He
son,
cheated.
wait a second,
He
wait a
cheated that
second.
night.
This man right here has something to say to you, Shiima Xion. This is Hentai, the man that's gonna break your ass all
Wait a
over the
second,
place.
Zima?
Zima?
They quit making that drink because I wouldn't drink it.
Zima!
Whatever you're calling yourself these days, kid, it's no matter. TNA, your shooting star, it's all over. Tonight I'm gonna wipe that punk right off the map of wrestling. Guaranteed.
Yes, and I gotta tell you something, do not worry. We will have the man advantage. You have my word.
You better
Each
get
and
it.
every one of you.
better
Chest
do it.
Flexor, I'm taking you out. Man advantages are, but listen. October 22nd is the 10-year anniversary of the IWC.
Our company.
What would be
Our
our revolution, Vegas? Celebration on October 22nd. A celebration. We'll have confetti. We'll have fireworks. And the Founding Fathers
Fireworks.
will celebrate. Fireworks in the building.
In the building.
In the building.
Oh my goodness.
It's gonna be a celebration, bitches.
A celebration October 22nd. But
War
tonight.
Games! War Games! War Games!
War Games! War Games! War Games!
Ladies and gentlemen, the second half of IWC Cage Fury kicks off with a grudge cage match. Now, in this contest, the only way to win is to escape the cage, either by going over the top of the cage or through the door, and both feet touching the floor.
The Founding Fathers making their way to the ring en masse. Loving hogging the spotlight, loving hogging the attention.
Joe, aside from these gentlemen here, and I guess I use that term loosely, don't tell them I said that, I have chills right now. This is what we've been waiting for, this series of cage matches right here tonight.
3 big cage matches that will shape the future of this organization. This first match, a year and a half in the making.
introducing combatant number 1. He represents the founding fathers. He weighs in at 200 pounds and has received formal training in Hayabusa, Japan. Here is Super Hentai!
Dressed for war is Super Hentai. A man who on IndyWrestling.com stated his mission very clearly. On the subject of his opponent tonight, Shiima Xion, Hentai intends to, quote, beat him senseless. And you heard him say it over and over again, emphatically. Hentai is here for pain. Hentai feels that Shiima Xion has shown disrespect to his trainer, that being Hentai. Hentai feels he is still the man in IWC, but I severely question the means he has gone about to attempt to prove it. Hentai lost this cage match a year ago under questionable circumstances. Hopefully tonight we will have a clear-cut winner as the man with controlled aggression and howling fury prepares for warfare. I do not agree with Hentai's stance.
And his opponent. He weighs in at 190 pounds, whistling out of the Philippines, and is fresh off an appearance on Impact Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, Shiima Xion!
Shiima Xion made his debut a couple of months ago on TNA Impact Wrestling on Spike TV, known as Zima Ion. Shiima, in addition to success there, has been all over the world, Japan, Mexico, and across the United States. But IWC will always be home, and regardless of Shima's career skyrocketing, he has some major unfinished business with Super Hentai. Shiima Xion says he's not going to fight this battle for IWC, he's doing this for himself. It's personal.
And we're not going to wait to get things underway. Joe, this is going to be Shima's first real chance to get his revenge on Super Hentai since Hentai turned on him right here just a few months ago.
And these men have been chained into the confines of what is at least a 15-foot high solid steel cage.
This is going to determine it all. Nobody's getting in and nobody's getting out, that is, until they beat their opponent senseless enough to do so.
That's absolutely true. This all started when Shiima Xion, as he elevates Hentai a moment ago, Shiima Xion...
Just a reminder, the only way to win this contest is to escape the cage by going over the top or through the door and both feet touching the floor.
Those are the special rules of this particular contest. Shiima felt that he was the new top dog in the Super Indy division and attempted to eliminate Hentai from the equation. But to Hentai's credit, he kept fighting onward in an attempt to prove Shiima wrong. But if you ask me, Justin, hindsight's 20/20, and if Hentai is turning to the founding fathers for a cheap way out, maybe Shiima was right. Maybe Hentai has lost his way and should not be on top anymore, but that's why we're having this wrestling match.
It appears to be that way, Joe, and really, if you look at it, is Hentai better off ever since he's joined the fathers? He doesn't have the strap anymore. He's found himself locked in a cage with his arch nemesis. Maybe that wasn't the best decision.
Well, he has security. He has strength in numbers. He has a group of guys that think the same way he does, that, hey, we're not ready to give up our spots yet. But as far as I'm concerned, Shiima Xion, in many ways, has eclipsed Super Hentai, and Shiima claims that makes Hentai jealous.
And he has a valid claim. Unbelievable maneuver. You almost saw Hentai get out of the cage there really early on. Thank God Shiima was able to stop that, because I want to see these guys go at it quite some time now.
Shiima says, Hentai, your own behavior has proven me right about you. But the only way to definitively prove it is to win this matchup.
It's incredible the role reversal that we've seen between these two over the years. It really shows the development of themselves as professionals. What the stress of this business, the physical, the mental abuse that you take night in and night out, how it can change a person. And this is a prime example because, Joe, they basically have switched spots in a sense.
It's almost like in this year-and-a-half rivalry, Shiima's upped his game even further to the furthest it has ever been. And somewhere along the way, Hentai realized that. And maybe Hentai, for the first time in his career, started to doubt himself as Hentai tastes the steel bars. And Hentai thought that he needed help. And that is not the Super Hentai that I grew up respecting, that I've known for the past 8 or 9 years. That's for damn sure.
And here's Shiima checking to see if the ring crew did a good job, and it looks like they did. I apologize, Joe. Continue.
It's the Hentai we are seeing right now, and the Hentai that Shiima Xion is faced with. And Hentai is a very angry, enraged, focused athlete. If he can unleash himself in this contest, it may be pure hell for Shiima. But right now, it is all Shiima Xion.
Oh.
We saw Shiima finally grow up and mature, turn over a new leaf, and was ready to respect Hentai, was ready to fight by his side.
There he goes.
But at that moment is when Hentai decided to betray this organization and sell out his legacy. And Hentai, huge power slam from the top. But again, no pinfalls and no countouts. Hentai's had a lot taken out of him as well, and he has to escape this cage through that padlock door or over the top.
And this is a risk you got to take. You got to win by escape. You got to go over the top if you're not going to go through that door. But every time you do that, you're exposing yourself to a vicious fall, like Shiima just experienced.
Hentai, I believe, raking Shima's forehead across those bars. That chain link fence. And this is not a perfectly constructed apparatus, Justin. There are pieces of metal poking out, sticking out, that can catch you at just the right point in your skin and slice you to pieces.
Yeah, from an engineering standpoint, maybe not, but it's perfectly constructed for pain, and we're seeing that early on right now.
There you go. Hentai with a back elbow. What do you think, Justin? Has Hentai realized that he may not be top dog anymore? Is he desperately clinging to his spot through the Founding Fathers? Does Hentai realize Shima's the man?
I don't think so, Joe. I mean, you referenced his interview last week or last month that we saw online. I mean, this is an angry, vicious man. Now, maybe that's his defense mechanism, but we will not know that because on the outside, he is still showing that he believes he is the man. He is still showing that he's got that killer instinct and he's willing to do whatever needs to be done to come out on top.
Well, the young lions of this organization, I'm talking about the 25 and under crowd, have really been making a lot of noise this past 6 to 12 months. Shiima, Facade, Gory, of course at one point you could throw in Jimmy DeMarco into that classification as well. Nice high angle back suplex by Hentai. Sadly, DeMarco banned from the building, fired. Legal papers were served several months ago. He is still not back, nor do we expect him to be at any point in the near future. And certainly if Bubba is victorious at the end of the night, that could spell the similar fate of guys like Shiima and Flippin and Easy as well.
Yeah, let's not underestimate the importance of Bubba the Bulldog versus Chest Flexor.
That's for the man advantage. That's up next as War Games looms on the horizon. And Hentai eats the steel again. That mask is no kind of protection when its flesh meets steel.
I mean, how do you know if he's not bleeding underneath that thing right now?
No way you could tell.
His face has had to come crashing into that steel, what, 7, 8, 9 times by now?
Yeah. Shiima.
Here's where things get dangerous. Here's where things get exciting.
Well, both guys trying to climb up. That's how you win. You climb out. But Hentai caught Shiima off at the pass. High-risk superplex! And again, you can almost see the air rushing out of both these men's bodies.
Oh, watch Shiima squirm. That is pure pain.
And it's been so personal between the two. Shiima claiming that Hentai could never live up to Hentai's true potential, that Hentai became complacent. Meanwhile, Hentai claiming that Shiima is a disrespectful punk that does not deserve everything he's acquired.
Joe, I don't think these guys will ever again see eye to eye. I really think putting them inside this 15-foot high steel structure is the only way to settle anything.
One of these men may have to be destroyed to solve this issue.
Here he goes. No, Hentai grasping at his foot. And they're trading turns, crawling for that door.
Well,
it's not going to happen.
Attempt as they might, there will be a lot more pain blues. Wait, Shiima almost there. Shiima a hair quicker. Referee Bobby Williams is right there to detect. Both feet must hit the floor for this to be over. No, Hentai got to try it.
Wait a minute, Joe.
Hentai may be close to having a fingertip on the floor, but that doesn't count. Your feet have to hit. Hentai nowhere near all the way out.
Oh.
And Segaris style kick by Hentai, the newest founding father. Big momentum here. And
Whoa, wait
Shiima,
a minute.
like Spider-Man, grabbing onto the cage, and Hentai almost lost him. You want to talk about thinking on your feet, or thinking in midair. Shiima and Hentai are both hitting hard.
They got to hold on for dear life. If one of them goes down here, the other's got the clear head start to the top of that cage.
Exactly. You go down here, it could be history. History for the pride.
Oh, I think Hentai's out.
Out on his feet.
Wait a minute.
No. Both men fall.
10 minutes gone by in this contest.
Hentai using the basic instinct that he had just to shove Shiima down before completely losing consciousness and dropping across those ropes.
Desperation move by Hentai, but it paid off. He could sense himself fading, but he knew he could not fade alone. As if he did, he'd wake up to an empty ring. And now,
wait a minute. Shiima's at the door. Where's the ref?
Towards the door. Official Bobby Williams.
Oh no!
Wait a minute, Hentai.
Oh! And maybe it's a good thing the ref was late on that because we might have seen that match end.
Hentai went to charge through into Shiima. That's a great call there. The momentary issue with the door kept this matchup going. And Shiima going springboard with a moonsault.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done.
And it's so unfortunate that this matchup cannot be for the Super Indy title, as was the centerpiece of this rivalry for so long.
Wait a minute, Joe.
Oh, wait, whoa.
No. Come on, not this way.
Come on, this cage is up for a reason. The door has malfunctioned. The only way out is over the top. And Dean Radford, now with a chair, is cutting Shiima off at the pass. And Shiima, improvisational, goes 450. He's picked up a couple of wins on Spike TV with that as well. But will it be enough to stop the Founding Fathers?
That might be the most beautiful 450 in the game today. He's perfected.
Oh, come on, the referee got it. Dean Radford assaulted the referee with a chair before the official could unlock the cage. And Radford reaching in and ramming Shiima's head into that padlock cage door. That's sadistic. That's not going to solve who the better man is.
Maybe I spoke too soon when I said the cage would keep the outside interference from happening.
And Radford unlocks the cage.
No. You've got to be kidding me.
Hentai's not proving anything.
What's the call here, Joe? Is the ref still down?
There's no official. No, the bell has not sounded because no official has rendered a decision. If Bobby Williams sees this, that's another story.
And Dean Radford's picking him up. He's trying to wake him up here.
And he's trying to position
Still
the
no
official.
Call.
Wait,
Still no
Shiima.
call. They're both out.
Shiima collides with Radford and the referee.
An escape steel cage match with both competitors battling outside of the cage.
Well, now this is dangerous for everybody. Look out.
The cage can't contain these men. This is what we came to see tonight.
It definitely cannot. These are the stakes. It's a lot of pride. It's a lot of personal glory. It's a lot of bragging rights.
Shiima can win this if the ref will just get up. I don't think a win's enough.
It's no way it is.
Shiima's letting his emotions get the better of him.
Shiima was betrayed by Hentai a couple of months ago. Shiima saw the light just as Hentai had discovered the darkness. And just as Hentai did to him, Shiima turns around and buries the chair into the spine of his one-time mentor.
This is revenge at its finest.
And Dean Radford's got no business here. And Radford neutralized. The ring rope to the groin.
Take it out of the equation.
15 minutes.
Shiima's looking to have a little bit of control here.
I know Hentai trying to escape.
Making a move, but no. Shiima's got him sized up. Oh.
From the top of the cage, a powerbomb! A hell of a powerbomb!
Oh my goodness. sometimes you just gotta soak in these fans' reactions, Joe. This is unbelievable.
Shiima Xion with a desperation maneuver of his own as he now begins to crawl, to inch with every bit of strength left in his being towards what I believe was the chair. Shiima needs to be thinking about escape, but again, it's that personal animosity. It's being betrayed by someone he trusted, the ones you love hurt you the most.
No!
And Hentai, oh no!
No, no, no,
Oh no!
Here is your winner, Super Hentai!
The momentum on the chair shot sent Hentai through the door that was still unlocked from earlier.
Joe, I said it once tonight. I'm gonna say it again. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than it is to be good.
And Shiima is beside himself. The emotion, the enragement of Shiima Xion caught up to him. He kept wanting more, but it was a little too much. And this is damn scary now, because momentum is firmly in the camp of the Founding Fathers, with War Games approaching and the fate of this company on the line. Did Hentai prove he was the better man? Did Hentai prove he still deserves the spot above Shiima Xion? I have my severe doubts about that, fans. And all the fathers, sans Bubba, mocking Shiima and mocking these fans. Hentai is damn good, but it was luck that won out. And it was the strength in numbers, the help of Dean Radford to revive the official. Shiima's screwed, but we may all be screwed by the end of the night as the Founding Fathers keep on succeeding.
Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Plummer here, and it looks like our first of 3 cage matches has lived up to the hype. Super Hentai defeating Shiima Xion. It looks like the Founding Fathers are going to have the momentum in their favor going forward. Now, I'd like to try to find somebody back here from the IWC locker room that has some insight. Justin Idol. Justin, come here for one word, please. Justin, you're a seasoned vet. You've been around here for a while. It looks like the momentum is shifting towards the Founding Fathers. How are things? How are the mood back here in the locker room right now?
Well, the mood's really hot. I'm talking, Justin. It's pretty crazy. I mean,
Justin Idol.
Justin, your next turn. Holy
crap!
Dalton Cass. Nice
Mr. IWC, right? Mr. IWC, the head trainer here. That's you, right? Mr. IWC, all the kids inspire to be you. They want to grow up. Everybody wants to be like you. You're the best, right? No, you are. Don't cut yourself short. I just wrestled a couple opponents who, if I'm not mistaken, are your trainees, actually. Now that I put that together, I actually question the title Mr. IWC here.
I think I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get under my skin. Trying to make a name for yourself coming into the IWC. Dalton Castle, huh? Well, listen, kid. There's more important things going on tonight. So why don't you just back off a little bit? Let me finish this promo. I'll come find you. We'll talk things out, you know. We'll talk about maybe your shortcomings a little bit, you know. And why don't you just... Okay? All right. Let me finish the promo. We'll talk. Okay? Okay. Back to the war game. I'm saying is I mean...
Oh, wait. Hey, relax. Oh. Can we get...
My name is Dalton Castle. I'm a charismatic milkshake, and I am the best thing to come to IWC. And I don't care who I have to go through to show you how I
This peacock can fly. The following steel cage matchup will determine the man advantage in our War Games main event here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, in this contest, the only way to win is to go over the steel cage or through the door and both feet touch the floor.
Well, certainly Dalton Castle thinking of himself more so than this organization. There may not be an IWC to make your name in after tonight, or if there is, it may be one that we want nothing to do with. But we will follow the Dalton Castle Just an Idol story here a little bit later on in the weeks to come, or so we hope. Right now, all-important matchup for the man advantage.
Introducing first, representing the Founding Fathers, he weighs in at 222 pounds, wrestling out of the dog pound. He is the Director of Wrestling Operations, Bubba the Bulldog.
Obviously, we know how War Games works. We know the Cage Fury rules. 2 men start in the ring for a period of 5 minutes, and at equally timed intervals thereafter, a new wrestler from alternating teams enters. It's important every year to determine which team will have a member enter first. If Bubba the Bulldog wins this matchup, the Founding Fathers get that right. If Chest Flexor wins, then it's all up to Rowe and Flippin Ain't Easy to have the advantage on their side. But a lot of underlying questions. What is the relationship between Flexor and Chuck Roberts? What was the relationship between Flexor and Bubba the Bulldog? Can we trust him? Is he on the right side? I hope he is, because he's got 50% of the stake into this company too, does Flexor. Bubba, a 16-year veteran. Smart, calculating, cerebral. And he's been in many a cage match in the past. A man that's competed against the likes of CM Punk.
He weighs in at 185 pounds, wrestling out of Beachport, Pennsylvania. He represents one half of the Overseas Ladies and gentlemen, Chest Flexor.
What in the blue hell is he wearing? That is certainly Chest Flexor at his blatant best, perhaps blatant worst. Flexor fronted the money to Chuck Roberts to pay for half of IWC in buying it back from Sterling James Keenan. How and where Flexor got that money, I am not going to ask. However, regardless of the means, the end result is we are here now. Bubba versus Flexor for the man advantage in War Games. One-on-one, one fall, steel cage contest between Bubba and Flexor. Flexor certainly has his share of supporters. Flexor's the kind of guy, he's really tough to read. You really don't know what's going through his mind, nor do I think you want to. But Chuck Roberts has told him, Michael Facade has told him, a number of others have told him, Flexor, you need to get serious. You need to get focused, because this is the most important position you have ever been in. This is pivotal in the future direction of IWC. A Bubba the Bulldog exclusively run IWC in 2011, to me, is a major, major mistake. and a major, major step back. 2001 was one thing when this company was founded. Present day, Bubba's all about the agenda. He's all about the past stars who are hanging on. The guys that are using strength and numbers to protect their own spots rather than let the young stars of today rise to the top. Is Flexor one of those young stars? I'm not sure, but this match could go a long way to solving that. And Bubba starting very meticulously.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this contest is Escape the Cage rules. You must go over the cage or through the door and both feet touch the floor. The winning man will represent his team, and that team will have the man advantage in the War Games main event.
Bubba sends Flexor for the ride reversal. Brakes put on. Drop kick, nicely done. Flexor has never faced a man like Bubba the Bulldog before. And Flexor showing his inexperience in cage matches. Took too much time. I think Flexor's pretty proud of the fact that a lot of these fans are actually cheering him for the first time in his career. Or at least the first time in quite a while, but you hesitate for a moment with Bubba, and you will pay for it. Bubba plants the leg, and this has been Bubba's plan ever since he replaced Shane Douglas as Director of Wrestling Operations for IWC. Systematically take all the power from Chuck Roberts until IWC was back where it started, in Bubba's hands. It has been a long, daunting task since then, but on this night, Bubba can finally achieve that. Step 1 was Hentai's victory over Shiima. Step 2 is Bubba the Bulldog gaining the man advantage for War Games here in our feature matchup. Chest Flexor could potentially spoil nearly 2 years of work of Bubba the Bulldog in this matchup. Will he? I have my doubts. Could he? Absolutely. It is escape the rules. Escape the cage rules, I should say. One fall, over the top, through the door. And Bubba trying to send Flexor into the cage. Didn't get the torque on the rotation he needed to. However, he did send Flexor ankle first, knee first, leg first, and Flexor landed very awkwardly and caught not just the steel but those ring ropes as well. And now Bubba, powerbomb position. Look out! Whiplash-like effect the back of the neck of Flexor. And the enragement that Bubba has for these fans, Bubba is unfortunately taking out on Bubba the Bulldog. Crowd not impressed. Bubba has a chance to walk out. Will he? Bubba, well, has second thoughts. We saw this backfire for Shiima Xion about 10 minutes ago. If the fate's the same for Bubba, I think we got a big weight lifted off our collective shoulders. Flexor again, it's very, very hard. Back of the head first, not into just the chain link, but those connecting beams. And Bubba misses. Bubba went to flatten Flexor, but nobody home. And Bubba writhing in pain. And what if Chest Flexor can do this? Flexor's he's inching towards the door. Bubba doesn't see him. Flexor's going to do this. Flexor's on his way. He's on his way. Now, what is this? Now, chest flexor once more? He wants to go over the top. Oh. What a maroon. He had the match won. I don't know if he wants to show off or if he wants the pride of it all, but he wants to climb over the top of the cage. And he better hurry his rear end up because Bubba's right next to the damn door. Come on. It's a foot race at this point. It's a foot race. Oh, Bubba got her. Bubba. You see the official point to Bubba. Bubba crawled down the stairs first before Flexor.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the steel cage match, and now gaining the man advantage for his team in the War Games main event.
Damn.
Bubba the Bulldog and the Founding Fathers.
Oh, that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. Bubba's got to assault this kid who used to be a patsy for the Founding Fathers. Come on. Somebody stop this. Flexor, he's goofy, but he's an innocent kid. Come on, Bubba. And the Founding Fathers have the man advantage. And Chuck Roberts may be looking into his future. Chuck Roberts, once again, has the deck stacked against him. Once again, IWC may be slipping through all of our fingers. And the cage is next. War Games is next. Fans, it all comes down to one match. 6 men. The Founding Fathers team and Team IWC. The fight is...
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your IWC Cage Fury main event of the evening. It will be a War Games tag team matchup. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in this matchup, we now know that the Founding Fathers has the man advantage. The way the War Games will work, 2 men will start, 1 from each team. They will compete for a 5-minute period. After that 5-minute period, we now know the Founding Fathers will then send a man into the cage. They will have the 2-on-1 advantage for 2.5 minutes. After that 2.5-minute period, a new man will enter. He will represent Team IWC. We will continue to alternate until all men are in the cage. Once all 6 men have entered the cage, then War Games, the match beyond, will begin. Now during this time, the match must continue no matter the condition of the combatants. The match cannot end until all combatants have entered the steel cage and War Games, the match beyond, has begun. Once War Games has begun, it is an elimination style tag team matchup. You can lose by submission, pinfall, or being removed from the cage. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring to the ring the man that will start War Games for the Founding Fathers.
The moment of truth is upon us. The Founding Fathers and the lifeblood of IWC about to get it on. You heard Pedro. No matter the condition of the combatants, this will go to a definitive end.
The first man to enter War Games, he weighs in at 195 pounds. Wrestling out of Rochester, New York, he represents the Founding Fathers and is the IWC Heavyweight Champion, John McChesney.
McChesney is wearing a part of an authentic World War II Army jacket. McChesney is the IWC champion, but this is one of those rare occasions where it's not about the IWC title. Rather, it's about the IWC as a whole. Justin Plummer rejoining me at this time, a little bit roughed up earlier tonight, but Justin, hopefully you're feeling okay, but certainly that pales in comparison to how these athletes are going to feel. And you can tell, just by looking at the body language, the wardrobe, and especially the eyes of Big League John McChesney, the pressure and the seriousness of this situation.
Joe, after all the good things I said about Dalton Castle, I can't believe that, but I'm going to put it behind me because this is what we've been waiting for. You are right. This is why everyone is here. I've got chills. I'm ready to see. Everything's on the line. This is it.
Almost every year since 2004, IWC has hosted a steel cage match. In 2005, that steel cage match was John McChesney and Christopher Daniels for the IWC Super Indy Championship. McChesney, famously, a bloody mess, dove off the top of the cage with a crossbody to win and retain that match and championship. What will McChesney do with the power of the entire company at stake and a year plus of planning to either come to fruition or fall by the wayside? McChesney will be the Iron Man for the Founding Fathers. A smart decision if you ask me, as McChesney is the most trained for endurance out of anyone on his team.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, representing Team IWC. He weighs in 172 pounds and he's roaming the streets tonight. Creeping while you're sleeping. He is one half of Flippin Ain't Easy. Michael the Baller Facade.
The Neon Ninja, the Aerosol Assassin, and the Suburban Terrorist, formerly one half of the IWC Tag Champions, until the Founding Fathers flexed their power again, and he and Gory were defeated by the other two men on McChesney's team, Dennis Gregory and Jimmy Vegas. Michael Facade hasn't been very involved with the Founding Fathers until recent months, but to me, Michael Facade and guys like him are what this has been about for day one. Facade's one of those guys who has not had a chance to rise up to main event status. Not had a chance to compete for championships. Not had a chance to showcase what he can do. Why? Because the old guard have a stranglehold on the top spots. Facade has traveled all over this country and earned his stripes and earned his opportunities. Opportunities he has not been afforded thanks to the egos of Bubba the Bulldog and company, thinking that they are still top dog here, even though they all left this organization at various times for different reasons.
That's right, Joe. And if you got to have a leadoff hitter in the biggest match of the year, who better than Michael the Bomber Facade?
Facade also a lot of endurance, extensive training in gyms and dojos. And Facade is not wasting any time, and this is a psychological game. A year ago in War Games, a year ago at Cage Fury, McChesney fell from the top of the 15-foot cage and crashed through a table. McChesney is looking at the visual representation of his fate of last year. Will it happen again this year?
What
oh
in
my!
the world?
Those are those hooks that Facade uses to rappel from the balcony with. He descends from the top of this building with Gory, and it looks like he's gonna rappel up the cage, but McChesney interrupts. And this match has not officially started, Justin, because they are not in the ring. Keep in mind, they will have like 5-minute period once they start, and athletes will enter at equally timed intervals. But right now, McChesney looking for a cheap shot or two before this match officially happens.
Now, Joe, how much do you think the advantage is going to play in the role of the Founding Fathers in this match?
Oh, it's absolutely huge. It's absolutely huge. they will have a chance to go 2-on-1 and then 3-on-2. That is a major, major advantage. IWC can only hope to even the odds, but McChesney has his back turned. The match officially starts.
Here we go. This is what we've all been waiting for.
And that's what Facade was waiting for. The chair to the head of McChesney, and just as the bell sounds, the momentum McChesney has built is all negated. And that's the danger of this cage match. The tide can swing so rapidly.
And we referred to Michael Facade as a leadoff hitter. He just about hit a home run, the ball being McChesney's skull in his opening few seconds.
Well, but we're only in the first inning, Justin. That's what you got to keep in mind.
So we got a long way to go.
Facade is finally succeeding on a higher platform, a platform the Founding Fathers have robbed from him for many, many months. Facade is in his 20s. He's got his career ahead of him. He is a rising star and arguably the most popular athlete on the IWC roster. But the Founding Fathers don't care about that. They care about themselves. And McChesney is a hell of an athlete. 4-time Super Indy champion, IWC champion. And there's a cover, 2-0. And without the Founding Fathers, McChesney may still be on top of the heap. However, we would never know because McChesney takes the easy way out.
I often wonder, Joe, what McChesney could have done on his own. Would he still be at the top? That's a great question.
McChesney just barely retained the IWC title both a month ago against Val Venus and also a couple of months ago here in this building against Rowe. Rowe had that title won, if not for a technicality. Tonight, there will be no technicalities. Tonight, it will be Cage Fury.
Speaking of Rowe, do you think the roof's going to blow off at this place when he comes running down that aisle?
I think McChesney's head may blow off his shoulders. And Facade gets sent again into the iron bar.
He almost put him through the cage.
And that's not impossible. The fans are not pleased with John McChesney, the man who used a chair to end the career of Jimmy DeMarco.
He's taking his time here, actually letting the fans get to him a little bit.
The man who severely lacerated Larry Sweeney in Sweeney's final ever IWC bout. McChesney also faced Larry Sweeney one-on-one in a cage in the past. They talked about it earlier to the Founding Fathers, experience in cage matches. McChesney got at least a handful under his belt. Michael Facade, off the top of my head, I can't think of any.
No, and that, not only do they have the man advantage, they got the experience.
Justin, what is this?
Oh, no.
That chair is prone,
no.
spread open. Facade's on the top turnbuckle. McChesney had Facade perched. Bomber trying to fight. McChesney back into that chair. That leaves Big League prone.
Oh, what do we got here?
The heel kick from the top. And Justin, it's so desperate for Facade to stay on the offense. Because remember, once that 5-minute period expires, it's a member of the Founding Fathers in. They have that advantage. And Facade, no matter what happens here, will be 2-on-1 for a 2.5-minute period.
And we're going to essentially have a handicap match. That's on top of the punishment that he's going through right now.
And keep in mind, you cannot be eliminated until all 6 men, all combatants in the cage match, have entered the ring.
Was that a little tribute to Sabu, but it didn't come through?
A little homage with a triple jump moonsault, but McChesney was a step ahead of it. And now Big League's got the chair. An implement of destruction, as if the cage was dangerous enough. Back suplex. Imagine the pain of that steel just shooting up your spine, your neck.
Unbelievable, and this is not a good place for Michael Facade to be. Still not facing that man advantage.
That's right. Facade had the chair at his disposal at the outset of the matchup, but the tides have changed. And the Tree of Woe, first popularized by one of the most sadistic men in the history of this business, Kevin Sullivan. But by the end of this matchup, there may be new candidates for that job position. the baseball-style dropkick with the chair.
He's out.
Sandwiches the face of Facade.
He is unconscious.
10, 9, 8, 7.
And Big League in a comfort zone now.
5, 4,
Who's it gonna be?
3, 2,
Well,
1.
we got two options. And whichever one, it's not going to be good.
The next entrant representing the Founding Fathers, Jimmy Vegas.
Jimmy Vegas, IWC champion throughout the first half of the 2000s. However, Vegas left the organization for several years.
What's he doing?
Came back and was handed a spot back because he was friends with Bubba. And they hang out together at bars and they drink because they're cool and they're big shots. And Vegas just forced the official out, which is fine because there will not be a fall, there will not be an elimination until all combatants are in. But they want the ring to be their own territory, to torture Facade. Oh no. Oh, following slam! Facade, an amazing hang time. Time stood still.
And at a certain point, you got to stop worrying about winning the match and start worrying about continuing your career. This is a terrible place for somebody right now.
There's no escape now. What's done is done. Nobody is going to be climbing out of this cage unless they are forced out by elimination. And keep in mind, Vegas, along with Dennis Gregory, unseated Facade and Jason Gory as tag champions. Titles they held did Facade and Gory for a year's time. Titles that meant everything to them, that gave them a sense of belonging, a sense of purpose here. While the Founding Fathers dominated the top of the card, Flippin' Ain't Easy could call the tag titles all their own, but no more, thanks to the greed and power trip of the Founding Fathers. And Facade has promised that he will send IWC soaring to new heights it has never seen before. Is that a cryptic statement? We will find out.
And it looks like at this point, Joe, there's no eliminations yet, but Facade could essentially be eliminated from this matchup.
Oh. There's a huge clothesline.
Completely flipped him with the power of that.
Crowd chanting Little League at McChesney.
10, 9,
Well, here we go.
8, 7, 6, 5.
Team IWC
4,
needs this.
3,
Who do you pick? That's the
2,
question.
1. The next entrant representing Team IWC.
They went with Unity. Great call. Who could better help Facade than Jason Gory, who flies with a double drop kick. And now Gory is a house of fire as he unloads on Vegas. Chuck Roberts is by the entrance area cheering on his company, cheering on his representatives. Gory does have cage experience. With QAS coming up. Vegas countered, but only temporarily. Beautiful double team on the best team in the organization today. Gory and Shiima Xion beat the Gambinos in a hellacious cage match a few years ago, and now Gory is picking up where we left off.
Hold on a minute here. And the tide has turned, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. Jason Gory with the 450. Who would have thought, with the way things were headed, that this could have turned? Michael Facade seems to have gotten a second wind. The fans are helping to shift the momentum here. He's running off pure adrenaline.
Well, the Founding Fathers may have the man advantage officially, but certainly the home field advantage goes to Flippin' Ain't Easy, goes to Team IWC. Gory and Facade have said the Founding Fathers are great wrestlers, fantastic wrestlers, but they were in the past. The future is now, and if they do not want to pass the torch, Facade and Gory are willing to take the torch forcibly. That's what we are witnessing at this point in time. They are physically taking the torch, prying it from the cold, dead hands of the Founding Fathers.
That's right, Joe. We could be witnessing history right here tonight.
Oh. Or will someone just be history? Gory head first into the chair, and that electric chair driver That would normally be enough to finish a matchup, but there were no eliminations until all members have entered.
Flippin' ain't easy, it's the tide's turn.
Oh no.
But it looks like it's going back towards the fathers and they're about to get another man.
That was the one-arm bandit by Jimmy Vegas.
The next entrant representing the Founding Fathers.
This just got taken to a whole new level. Dennis Gregory has competed in every single War Games matchup in IWC history that I can recall.
And he's dressed for war here tonight.
Our first ever War Games in 2004, it was Gregory with Bubba and Vega, oddly enough, against the team of Michael Shane, that's Shawn Michaels' cousin, by the way, Chris Candido, the late great Candido, and CM Punk himself. Last year, Dennis Gregory returned from war to what appeared to be help out his great friend Jimmy DeMarco, but actually, before long, by the end of the year, Dennis Gregory ended up betraying everybody and siding with Bubba. And now Gory sent violently into the steel. Facade doing his best to fight. McChesney planning something. Jeez. The power, the weight of Vegas ramming into Gory. Oh, check out Facade, he's got big legs.
Here we go!
Electric chair style of his own.
Now Facade's got to get up, he's got to find it in him, he's got to save his partner here.
Facade can even save himself. They got about another 90 seconds to kill before the baddest man in IWC history, the emotionless assassin, makes his way to the ring.
Gory looks like a rag doll over there. He's just so limp from being stomped into the side of that cage.
And look at what the fathers look like. They look proud as punch right now. Cheshire Cat grins because they can sense the inevitable, what may be the inevitable. And Facade and Gory spending a career in the shadow of Gregory. And Gregory's the only 5-time IWC champion ever. Vegas was the first 2-time champion ever. That's huge, but that was then.
Get ready, Joe, here we go.
4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, the final combat. Being escorted ringside by Samantha and representing Team IWC, Rowe.
Oh my God! Facade just got sent through the cage door. The door shot open upon impact. And you want to talk about impact?
What are the Founding Fathers doing?
Little canteen break. Getting ready for Ray Rowe.
This is it, Joe. This is it. It's all up to this.
All 6 men have entered.
Ray Rowe's going to turn these tides.
Facade has not been eliminated from this match because now the War Games begin.
T-Bone.
The match will continue until all men have been eliminated from one team.
German.
Elimination occurs by submission, pinfall, or being eliminated from the steel cage.
All right, now officially, elimination in effect. Pin, submission, out of the cage. Ray Rowe is exploding on the Founding Fathers, and at ringside with Rowe, Samantha Ann Rowe. That is Ray Rowe's wife. Ray Rowe's wife in the past has been disrespected and even physically assaulted by John McChesney and other organizations in the past. Rowe and McChesney have a huge heated rivalry. McChesney is the man that ended Ray Rowe's career in Cleveland and is the reason Rowe currently resides in Houston, Texas. Jason Gory saves Ray Rowe from the clutches of Dennis Gregory in that exchange.
And it looks like, Joe, Ray Rowe may have been the shot in the arm that Team IWC needed to make a comeback. He may be down now, but he at least stopped their dominance. And remember, as Pedro stated, Michael Facade is allowed back in the cage if he can get back in the cage because he was removed prior to the start of elimination.
And even though it's supposed to be 3-on-3, the Fathers still have the man advantage!
But they don't have Ray Rowe.
Ray Rowe could be the strength of 10 men, maybe more. But Rowe is only human. It's only a matter of time. The DDT drills him.
I don't know if he's going to be enough to overcome the advantage that the fathers had in this match. Thanks to Bubba.
Facade trying to find a way.
Facade can't get
You know something, Founding Fathers?
That's Bubba.
When I beat Chest Flexor, I got the man advantage for the Founding Fathers. And as the Director of Operations for the IWC, the man advantage is me.
What?
The match is now 4 on 3. Get him!
Damn it!
Get him! Get him!
And he can do it. That's his job description.
Here we go again.
The Director of Wrestling Operations pulled another swerve, another trump card, and this damn company's on the line. They got handcuffs. Four on 3, technically 4 on 2.
Look at the arrogance. Sipping from a canteen. Chuck's had enough. What is he doing?
But Chuck, do not make yourself the point. Get out of there, Chuck.
Chuck and Bubba final.
This is bad.
I thought we were going to finally see Chuck get his hands on Bubba.
It's 4 on, I guess it's officially 4 on 3. Chuck is not officially in this match. Oh, come on. Outcome notwithstanding, he still runs this company right now. Facade getting annihilated on the outside. It's disgusting. McChesney's taunting Ray Rowe's wife as he assaults Ray Rowe in the corner.
And the fans backing their favorite promotion.
Well, enjoy it while they can. IWC, as we know it after tonight, may be something that none of us may want to be a part of.
Oh, Joe, I'm sick. I'm sick.
Well, it's sickening watching this happen to Chuck Roberts.
Unbelievable.
What? Oh, come on.
Oh, my God.
He's not a wrestler. You can't take this kind of abuse.
That's 3 kicks straight to the skull. Oh, here we go.
Chuck Roberts. You know something, Chuck? You want another person in this match? You want to put another person in this match? You got it, my friend. You got it. Right now, you got it, my friend.
This is hideous.
Now, Chuck, I got one thing to ask you. Chuck Roberts, do you have any final words? Chuck Roberts, I'll ask you again. Do you have any final words? What did you say? Have the balls and stand up to me and tell me what you gotta say. You want another man in this match? You got it, Chuck. What do you have to say for yourself?
What?
What is going on?
Suck my muscles.
This place is on fire.
Lights out at court time. Suck my muscles can only mean one thing.
It most certainly can, and I think everybody here knows exactly what that is.
Is he here?
No way!
He's here!
Jimmy DeMarco, he's back!
And check out the reaction of...
There he goes! He's wasting no time!
C4, look at Facade! Facade's on top of the cage! Facade's on top of the cage! Facade collides with everybody! And DeMarco, C4 to Vegas! What a moment! Vegas is eliminated!
This is chaos! We got one founding father down!
And it's 4 on 4! It's even! And DeMarco is face to face with the man that defeated him to end his career!
What in the world is going on right now?
DeMarco assaulting, humiliating. He's got a handful of Bubba. It was his final act as an employee of this company, and it's his first act upon returning. Bubba's the man that said, Jimmy DeMarco, you're never coming back. Got the legal injunction, banned him from the building. And finally, DeMarco, through Chuck Roberts, found his way back in. A fourth guy added.
Oh, not another one. Oh!
McChesney, handful of crotch, face first to the cage. It's another first, but who gives a damn? It's Cage Fury in IWC.
Anything can happen in War Games, and I think we've just seen about everything.
And the best news of it all, that we haven't even had a chance to really harp on, it's 4-on-3 advantage, Team IWC. Control of the company still at stake. And if Bubba wants his plan to come to fruition, he's damn sure gonna have to fight for it. The swerve and the shortcut didn't work.
Back and forth, knife edge chops on McChesney.
And that's what IWC is all about. Young talent stepping up and kicking ass.
Oh.
Certainly hope Chuck Roberts isn't too badly hurt. That was completely uncalled for, what he went through in there.
And this crowd welcoming DeMarco back inside of the IWC ring.
And that shows you why Bubba the Bulldog is bad for business. Why would you take Jimmy DeMarco away from his people? Why would you deprive them of seeing the most ironically popular IWC champion in history?
Because he's selfish and he's out for himself. That is exactly why.
Michael Facade is bleeding. I'm not sure from what. I'm assuming that happened when he was attempting to get back into the cage, or perhaps he landed wrong from the top. Double suplex down to the champion.
Nicely done.
I'm not sure if McChesney's bleeding or if that's Facade's blood on him. This matchup has gotten far more chaotic as it's gone on.
Gory's perched high atop the buckle there. Looks like he's got something in mind, Joe.
Good for us, bad for you, as the Road Warriors used to say. And again, Flippin' an easy tandem offense. In position, follow through, cover. Is he out? No. What a huge coup it'll be if Bubba the Bulldog gets sent packing.
Oh no.
What is this?
They're going up, and Bubba's waiting for him below.
What the hell? A super bunny moonsault from the top.
They nailed it!
Soaring to new heights with IWC, but Denny Gregory saves. And keep in mind, we still have Dean Radford on the outside. You can't trust him as far as you can throw him. Facade head first to the cage.
Facade's not looking good.
Not at all. Huge laceration on the top of his head. Now Gory hits head first as well. And with Gregory cinching in, it looks like a submission type maneuver. I understand from my sources that's called the Hurt Locker. The Hurt Locker cinched in on Jason Gory, and that he's right around the carotid artery with that, Justin, and he's elevated Gory.
Hanging him.
Gory can't breathe. That tightly cinched in right around the carotid artery. Nowhere for Gory to go. He couldn't even stand. You're right. It was like he was hanged.
Jason Gory has been eliminated.
Gory passed out. The arm dropped.
That submission move, Joe. What'd you say?
Hurt Locker.
The Hurt Locker. Seriously put it hurting on Jason Gory.
And they put a hurt into the advantage now.
Yeah, that's it. We're even again. Although IWC's got a seriously wounded man in there.
Absolutely. But certainly Bubba's the worst for wear. After the top rope buddy moonsault, DeMarco receiving end of a low blow. God. The carnage continues. It's a war of attrition at IWC Cage Fury. Only one side, maybe only one man, will be left. And keep in mind, if you eliminate someone from the cage, Justin, they're out of the match. That includes throwing them over the top. And a lot of people are jockeying for position right now.
Talk about an extreme...
Whoa. Check this out.
Wait a minute, Joe.
Power bomb. Look out!
Oh!
Everybody down.
It's a train wreck. Ray Rowe, the only man left standing.
Only Ray Rowe could take out 5 men at once.
Just when you thought you saw it all right here tonight, Ray Rowe tops it.
And that signal can only mean one thing. Death row? No. T-bone. Into the cage. Gregory lands on the top of his head. All the water in the world won't save you from this fate. The man whose wife you assaulted. The man who you ran out of his hometown of Cleveland. The man whose wrestling career you nearly ruined. And Rowe has morphed back into the emotionless assassin. No pain. Superhuman-like qualities.
Ray Rowe has waited so long for this moment, and it's finally here.
And Rowe unloads on Big League. Death Row!
Oh.
Death Row! Tribute to the late JT Lightning into a crossface. Crossface. Look at the torque on McChesney's back.
He's gone.
The champion.
John McChesney has been eliminated.
Ray Rowe just made the IWC champion tap out. That's huge. I'll check out the look on Bubba's face. Bubba eyeing up Ray Rowe. And Bubba realizing, getting a quick reacquainting session with what Ray Rowe's all about. Amazing strength. Ungodly strength.
Hey, Ray! Hey, Ray Rowe! Ray Rowe! Look at me!
What the hell? That's his wife.
No, come on now.
That's your girl, Ray Rowe.
He's going way too far, Joe.
You know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm gonna take him. You know exactly what I'm gonna do.
We knew he was this low.
No.
We knew he was this low. But come on, not now. And
Ray Rowe has been eliminated from War Games.
Damn it.
Can you believe that? You knew exactly, Joe, what he was trying to do there. Ray Rowe had to do it.
Rowe just eliminated. He had to protect his wife, absolutely. And then there were 4. 2-on-2. Bubba the Bulldog, Dennis Gregory. 2 of the best, bar none, wrestlers in this state in the 90s and 2000s. Facade and DeMarco, who have been taking IWC and the wrestling industry into this new decade. Will it be the resourcefulness and the scheming of the founding fathers, or the heart and drive of the young athletes?
Uh-oh.
Facade, oh no, Facade teetering. Come on. Hang on, kid.
This is dangerous territory.
You've wanted this for months.
Oh!
Right to that open wound.
Facade's hanging on, though. Oh!
And Gregory, look out. Look out! Jeez.
Goodness.
Hang on, Facade. Oh, there's a blood stain on that chair.
Look at that chair.
Look at Facade.
How's he doing this?
Facade swung around. Is Facade going to be able to... Facade's climbing. But we saw a period of about 5 minutes where Facade tried to get in, but couldn't. If he's knocked off this time, he's gone.
It's a race to the top, and it looks like Gregory... Uh-oh. No!
What is that? That was
spray paint to the face?
That was Facade's own spray paint.
He's blinded. He's hanging on the outside of the cage.
He's blind, but he'll still fight.
He's got to be 15 feet in the air.
He can't see. Look out!
Oh!
Through the table.
Michael the Blubber Facade has been eliminated.
And it's DeMarco suplexed on an open chair. It just keeps getting more vile. Dennis Gregory can barely move on top of the cage. These fans are standing. The fate of a company, the fate of our livelihoods on the line. But it's Jimmy DeMarco 2-on-1. And as great as Jimmy DeMarco is, and as much as he took pain threshold to a new
30
level.
minutes gone by this contest, 30 minutes.
2 men in the ring, a solid steel chair, Dean Radford on the outside, and Bubba the Bulldog's mind games. How in the hell can IWC be safe? Oh, into the crutch.
The sharp edge right into the face.
The point of the crutch.
As if the 2-on-1 advantage wasn't enough.
Founding Fathers have already humiliated Jimmy DeMarco. Cost him his career. Cost him the only thing he loves more than anything in this world. And now they're going to humiliate him one more time. DeMarco's hurt badly. Ow. Oh, I've seen enough chair shots to Jimmy DeMarco in my day to last a lifetime.
Can they hit him with anything else, Joe? It looks like yes, they can.
It's one of the Founding Fathers title belts.
Come on, Bubba, give me a break.
That may be the IWC title that Jimmy used to wear so proudly. No! DeMarco ducked it.
He's gonna get a second shot.
Can he duck it again?
No!
DeMarco's lacerated. Bubba hit Gregory on that go-around.
Oh!
C4! Gregory's knocked out on the title. Jimmy DeMarco just hit Bubba!
Bubba the Bulldog has been eliminated.
There's some retribution for all the humiliation, for all the condescending remarks from Bubba all these months. Jimmy DeMarco damn sure belongs here.
The battle between the Founding Fathers and the IWC has been back and forth for over a year. It's only fitting that it comes down to one-on-one.
Bubba doesn't want to leave. Oh, wait a second. McChesney's back out. Dean Radford circling as well. The rest of Jimmy Vega's limping to the ring. And it's just one, Jimmy DeMarco. Wait, Justin out of the crowd.
Wait a minute, Joe.
We got everybody out here.
That's the entire IWC roster, and they're all armed with foreign objects.
The locker room is empty. Grab something and go. And let's fight about it. IWC and Mass are showing up to make sure this gets settled right.
The Founding Fathers have been taken out of the equation.
And now, one-on-one. What's this company mean? What's this company all about? Jimmy DeMarco is looking eye to eye.
These fans are getting pretty wild right now, Joe.
DeMarco is looking eye to eye with his one-time best friend that stabbed him in the back with a chair and cost him his career last November. DeMarco is bloody. He is beaten. But there is still respect. These men are competitors. They have been friends. They have been enemies. And it is a raucous, riot-like state at the Core Time Sports Center.
This is it! Everything on the line, Joe!
As Gregory and DeMarco begin to fight it out. And DeMarco hits the steel hard.
He may have just broken the cage with his face.
DeMarco is dripping blood, much like we saw a year ago, much like we saw in the past, and now the back of the head. Cover, no, no! Justin, it's down to one fall. Next pin, next submission, next elimination determines the fate of this company.
Joe, the months of battling back and forth, the months of the blood, the sweat, and the tears, it's all coming down to right now. This
C4! C4! This is enough! No, wait!
Whoa,
no!
wait a minute!
No!
Oh, the ref!
Gregory kicked out!
The ref started to signal, the fans are on their feet, and he changed his mind mid-call.
You can say what you want about the backstage politics, about the boardroom meetings, but Gregory is damn tough to survive that.
You can feel the tension right now.
The crowd
you can feel the nervousness in the air
Hurt
right
Locker.
now.
Jason
This
Gory
is it.
passed out to this 5 minutes ago. If DeMarco passes out, IWC as a whole will fade to black.
Here's the Hurt Locker. Here's the portion where he slams his skull into the cage, just like slamming a locker door right down on your face.
But you know what? How much does it take to knock Jimmy DeMarco out? Necro Butcher couldn't do it. McChesney couldn't do it. The Gambinos couldn't do it. Although the Gambinos were also victims of the Founding Fathers. One more arm.
That's it.
No! DeMarco has waited 9 months for this. He will not let it slip.
Wait a minute, reversal!
He's got the Fujiwara armbar. You can separate a shoulder. Gregory reverses. Back to the locker. But DeMarco still has signs of life. Still has fight.
The battered and bloody Jimmy DeMarco is somehow holding on. He's grasping on to something. He's reaching down deep inside to fight back, and he's actually to his feet.
The man that's embodied the spirit of these IWC fans for so long, the very soul of this company, is fighting on to keep it alive. C4 attempt. No.
Oh,
Bust kick. And Dennis Gregory, the most experienced War Games cage match veteran in this matchup. A literal war veteran in the Middle East.
No, I think DeMarco's out.
There's no shame in losing to Gregory, but what happens to us? You know, Jimmy DeMarco's not going to be here if the Founding Fathers have their way. Facade and Gory won't. Chuck Roberts won't. We might not. This company will change for the worse if Dennis Gregory can finish this right now.
Just stop. I don't even want to think about this right now. I don't even want to think about that.
You got to think about it. Jimmy DeMarco's damn sure thinking about it. These fans, these wrestlers around ringside who are depending on this company to grow and prosper are damn sure thinking about it. Oh. DeMarco, can he fight?
He's
fighting!
fighting.
Yeah! Gregory eats the steel.
DeMarco's heading up. He's not high enough.
And this scares me.
We already saw what happened to Facade.
Yeah. We've got a lot of high risks here. And with the ultimate political risk, the ultimate gain, and the ultimate loss, these men are risking their bodies about 10 feet above this canvas. DeMarco with the elbows. What the hell?
No, he's got him cinched up.
Are you kidding me? Super C4! From 10 feet above! Got it!
Here is your winner of War Games, meaning that the IWC will stay in the hands of Chuck Roberts and Chest Flexor, Delicious Jimmy DeMarco and Team IWC!
The very man who was the very first casualty of the Bubba the Bulldog Founding Father power trip. The man that got eliminated from the company to form the Founding Fathers to begin with. Comes back home, fights the good fight, and brings the power back to its rightful hands.
Joe, after all the months of struggle, all the months of the battles going back and forth, the war is finally over. Bubba the Bulldog has been buried.
We will never forget our respect for the Founding Fathers, but their day has passed.
Don't chamber that us. Chamber you guys. Chamber IWC. Yeah. Now. Oh. Yeah, well, cheer. I'm saying cheer IWC. Come on, cheer. I gotta give this guy credit. He's a man, and he's a man of his word, and he stayed out here like a man, and he fought like a man.
Dennis Gregory. Well, yeah, but I gotta respect Dennis Gregory and Dennis. You did a lot for this company, and you know, we all respect you, man. Give it up to Dennis Gregory.
Dennis salutes the winner of this battle, the winner of this war. Walks away defeated, but still a proud man who fought to the bitter end for his cause.
Okay, now he's done, the trash talking can begin. I got to the building today, and I hid in the back, and I saw the Founding Fathers go into a locker room, and I put my ear against the door, and I heard a flurry of zippers and belt buckles. And heavy breathing, and then they came out and they all put their hands in and they said, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I know. So then, while I'm gone, Super Hentai turns evil, and I really can't talk crap on that guy because I didn't know they made masks like that in Middle Earth. I mean, I didn't know the Shire had fabric that could create such things. But I got some bad news for him. All over Muscle City, there's signs that say, must be this tall to suck muscles. So he's out of luck. Well, give me a break. It's not every day I get to make fun of someone shorter than me. Thank you. And I gotta give it up to my team and thank all you people for coming and still caring about IWC. Chuck asked any final words for Bubba, and I mean, I gotta say, any guy that can survive that long with the HIV virus, he's giving Magic Johnson a run for his money. God bless. Hey, my music, man.
Thank you, this guy. By the way, this was the guy I signed back in May, the returning superstar. We'll see you guys at our anniversary. October 22nd, let's hear for IWC, come on!
Ladies and gentlemen, good night from Cage Fury. The power struggle is over. In the ring, that's where the power lies. The next generation, the young stars, and Chuck Roberts forging IWC ahead to new frontiers. Good night.